Now that I told you what is the hardware, the core software, and the application, the reason why technology makes so much money is because if we go to the internet and look for the top 10 richest companies in the world, we will see that most of them are coming from technology. For example, I have this image right here. We have Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Amazon Web Services, Meta, and Broadcom. And what's common in these top companies, like top 10 companies in the world, is that all of these build their business and their empire through selling technology. Why this happens? Is it just luck? I can assure you it's not luck. It is about the nature of the business in technology. The tech industry has its own nature and its own type of business that make it grow so fast and makes it grow so massively compared to other companies and other industries that might take more time to grow. Let's start by explaining how the whole business is structured. And this is how technology is structured by itself. Technology is built by hardware, software, and the applications. These are the three most important topics that we can talk about right now. And these are the main reason why there is a huge amount of business for technology and the reason why they always lead in all the rankings. So let's start by the hardware. Here we have the hardware, which is basically the root of the whole internet and everything that you see in your screen. Software needs to live somewhere, and it is in the hardware. Hardware are basically the machines, are the physical products that companies sell. I'm talking about servers, storage, switches, and you can imagine how many of these. So, for example, this is a hardware, this is a server. One of these little boxes may cost $500,000, $1 million, and they process a massive amount of data and information. And a lot of companies, basically all the companies in the world, require one of these. Imagine how many clients companies that sell hardware have. Imagine how many clients, imagine how much money they receive by selling these boxes, by selling these servers. Because organizations manage a lot of data. And if they don't manage their data, the business goes bankrupt. So the need for this stuff is extremely important. Here is the cloud, here are the servers, here is the storage, the AI runs in the machines. Basically everything runs here. This is the root of everything. This is where the whole technology lives. For example, this is a data center. This is where the whole technology industry lives. And these data centers are located everywhere in the whole world. The US, Asia, Europe, Latin America, everywhere. Data centers are everywhere and are full of these machines. Now, what companies build these machines? Well, we have, first of all, let's classify the whole hardware in infrastructure and data processing servers. We have Oracle, IBM, HP Enterprise, Huawei, Hitachi, Dell. We also have storage servers as well, Lenovo. We have the switches and routers, which is basically the connection between all these machines and the internet. Because these machines will be nothing if they are not connected to the internet. Internet is the way that we send data from machines to other machines or to other users through the internet, which is connected through switches and routers. For example, companies like Cisco, which is extremely famous, and Brocade. Then we have end user devices, which is customer based, basically people that people as users will buy this laptops, cell phones, iPads, tablets. This is not business to business, this is customer and business. And then we have basically the most important thing, the chip and semiconductors. This is the soul of the machines. This is where the magic actually happens. We are talking about Nvidia, Intel, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, and Broadcom. These are huge companies. I'm sure you know about Nvidia and Intel, which basically they build all the GPUs and semiconductors that you can use in your own laptop, but also in the enterprise level as well. We also have Taiwan Semiconductors, it's huge, and nobody talks about it. I might do a whole video just for this company, but let's continue. The magic about this business is that all of these companies work with other companies. All of these hardware companies work with software companies. So there is a huge chain of business flow that never ends and that never cuts. So basically, if a company sells a hardware, it is guaranteed that a software company will sell a software. Now we have the core software. I'm talking about the true and the hard software right here. This core software is made to connect the machine to the actual digital world. We are going to semiconductors, to platforms, to programs, to the digital side. We're talking about operating systems such as Windows, Linux, IBM AIX. We're talking about databases, extremely famous and important. Oracle databases, MySQL databases. We're talking about probably one of the most modern and innovative stuff that we are seeing right now in technology, which is virtualization and containers. Basically, virtualization and containers use the hardware machines and organize these capabilities to create virtual machines. So here we have companies like VMware, which works with virtual machines. We have Red Hat with Red Hat OpenShift, and we have Kubernetes. Here we talk about Kubernetes, containers, OpenShift, virtual machines. This is a truly complex topic, and it deserves its own video, but I will do it later. We have all the important stuff like middleware, security and management ID. We have IBM security, for example. And we have, of course, the coding. Here is where the programming stuff comes. We have Python and Java platforms, just to give you two examples. There are plenty of programming platforms that you can use in order to manage the core software that runs in the hardware. Now that we have the operating system, the databases, the security, and the coding set, what's coming next? Well, now what comes next is basically what the end user will start using, is what the end user will work on, which is the applications and the platforms. This is probably one of the most known companies because the most customer based is a business, the most known and popular it will be around. Because if I told you about these companies that are usually for B2B sales or for company to company, most people won't even know what they do. But if I told you about SAP or Salesforce, most of the people that you know will understand what I'm talking about because this is more of customer end or user end platforms. Here we have the cloud, AWS, Amazon Web Services. We have IBM Cloud, Microsoft Azure. We have probably the most popular software right now in productivity, Microsoft Office. We have the ERPs, one of the most expensive and the most popular services and products for companies. Enterprise Resource Planner, Oracle ERP, SAP, Salesforce. We have cybersecurity as well, Fortinet, Palo Alto. All the IT managers know what is Fortinet. They know what is Palo Alto, as well as the backup. They know what is Beam. Most of the IT managers use Beam, to be honest. And we have the most attractive stuff right now, the artificial intelligence. This runs on the machine, and this actually consumes a lot of energy from the servers. We have companies like OpenAI, we have Palantir, and we have Copilot. These are companies that are using AI to solve the most complex problems. In the case of Palantir, this is one of the coolest companies that I have ever known. This is using AI to solve the most complex and competitive issues in the world for the US government, for the military, for the army, for the Navy SEALs. This is crazy, but this deserves its own video as well. So now that I told you what is the hardware, the core software, and the application, the reason why technology makes so much money is because they sell recurrently. They have licensing, subscription, renewals, upgrades, managed services, appliances. They have a ton of stuff that builds the whole nature of the technology business. So it means that these companies will receive a lot of money for each month, for each year, for each 2 years. Why? Because the business model is set that way. The nature of technology is set to be receiving money recurrently. So here I made you a timeline. All of the companies that I showed you will receive money the first year, then they will receive money each month, and they will receive a massive amount of money the next year, and this will happen over and over and over again with the same clients. Now, what happens is that if the client is giving you more money, they are being more attached to your products. So for these clients, it will be super hard to migrate all their staff to other company. So technology companies receive more money from clients, and at the same time, they are building more loyalty from the clients. That is crazy because it is a win to win. I receive more money, you are more loyal to me. I increase the prices, you will have to pay me. That is how technology works, and that is why technology is the richest industry in the world and is the leading industry in the world. So now you know the reason why tech companies are the richest in the world and are always leading all the rankings. It's because of the technology business nature. Now you know it, and I hope that you like it, and give it a like and subscribe.